Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Lamitan, and I'm going to help you learn Dholuo, which is the language spoken by the Luos of Kenya. Of course, I know there are so many dialects of the Luo language throughout the continent of Africa, but I'm particularly interested in the Luo language of Kenya, and particularly the ones spoken around the Lake Victoria and more so by the locals of Kisumu, Migori, some parts of Siaya, and Homa Bay. So if you are interested in the Luo language spoken in Kenya, then this is the right channel for you, and welcome aboard. So today I'm going to help you learn the pronouns of the Luo, and we call them weche makao kar nying. Weche are words, and nying are nouns. So weche makao kar nying are words that take the place of nouns, and that's what we mean by pronouns. So today I am particularly going to take you through personal pronouns, which are the pronouns that replace specific nouns in a sentence. These pronouns are divided into three categories, and these are the first person personal pronoun, the second person personal pronoun, and the third person personal pronoun. So starting with the first person personal pronoun, we have in singular form a, or, an, and that is pronounced with a schwa. Repeat after me: a, an, a, an. So that is the singular first person subjective pronoun. And the object pronoun is a. You can see that that is quite open. So the plural subject personal pronoun, on the other hand, is wa, or one. You can hear the one being pronounced with a schwa somewhere at the middle. So you either say wa or one. That is the subject first person pronoun. And the object first person pronoun is wa. That is quite often. Say it after me: wa. So there's a general rule that when the subject personal pronoun is succeeded by a verb or a qualitative adjective, then you can easily omit the n sound, so that you can have, for example, when you want to say that I'm eating, you can easily say achiemo, achiemo. And if you want to say that I am handsome, then you can still just omit the an option and use the a option and just say ajaber. You see that? On the other hand, if the subject personal pronoun is succeeded by a noun, then in most cases you will hear native speakers introducing the n sound, so that instead of somebody saying Alamitan when they want to introduce their name or to introduce themselves, then you will clearly hear the n, and so they will say An Lamitan, An Lamitan. So those are some of the little nitty-gritties of the subject personal pronoun that you need to master. There's something that I also need to say is that without extra conjugation, the subject plus verb is generally assumed and taken to have or appear in the present tense. There is the verb to be silently hidden somewhere within the personal pronoun in the subjective case or in the subject form. So, and that is helpful because once you have known that, then you don't need to be struggling to create the present tense when already you have your subject personal pronoun clearly identified and well used in your sentence. So I'm going to give you examples of sentences with the subject personal pronoun case. And the first one, an lamitan. In that case, an is the subject personal pronoun. Another example is adwaro chiemo. A is the subject personal pronoun. Dwaro is the verb and chiemo is the noun. So adwaro chiemo means I want food. Another example, one manawelo. One manawelo. One is the subject personal pronoun. Mana means just. Welo means visitors. So we are just visitors. You see that? More about the object personal pronoun. Consider this example. Los coda. Los coda. And you can hear the a open. It's pronounced in an open way, unlike the a in the subject personal pronoun, which is quite weak and pronounced as a, adwaro. But in the object personal pronoun, we say a. It's quite open. So that you have los coda, los coda. And that means speak to me or talk to me. And you should be careful because stress and intonation really matter a lot here. So that if you have a different intonation altogether, then you will miss it and you'll have another meaning brought up. So for instance, in this sentence, los coda, you can hear there is the pitch is medium from the beginning to somewhere at the middle, and towards the end there is a falling intonation. So you have los coda, los coda. You see that? But if you say, on the other hand, los coda, with a rising intonation from the beginning to the middle and then the falling intonation at the end, then that means a different thing altogether. In that matter, or in that case, you're saying, mend my coat. Los coda. You see how intonation plays a great role here? That is it. So if you say los coda, that means talk to me. And if you say los coda with that manner of intonation, I'm indicating using my hands, then that will change the meaning instantly. So intonation is one of the things that you should take into account when you're speaking Luo. That I will tackle in another video altogether. The second person personal pronoun, singular, is I or in. I, in. The I is short, and the in, you can hear it's pronounced with quite an open E. So you have I, in, and the plural second person personal pronoun is u or un. U, that is equally short, or un. U, un. Those are the subject second person personal pronouns. What about the object second person personal pronouns? Here we have I in the singular form and U in the plural form. I, U, I, U. So let's have some examples here in this category of personal pronouns, that is the second person personal pronouns. The first example that we have is in osiepa. In osiepa. In this case, in is the subject second person personal pronoun meaning you, and the word osiepa means my friend, so that in osiepa means you are my friend. The second example, be in e ot. Can you listen to that? It's a question. Be in e ot. In this case, the word be is used by native speakers to mean is it that or has it been that. So in this case, it means is it that. And then the other part, in a ot. In is the second person personal pronoun, subject case, singular, and it refers to you in the singular form. A ot means in the house. So the in a ot means is it that you are in the house? In most cases, the word be can be omitted from the sentence without changing any meaning. So if omitted, we'll still have are you in the house with the rising intonation, as so is used with the yes or no answer questions. The next example here is un owetena. Un owetena. Here, un is the second person personal pronoun subject form, plural, and it means you in the plural form as such. So saying un owetena means you are my brothers. Owetena means my brothers. Hence, un owetena means you are my brothers. Okay, let's take another example with the object form. And so here we have aheri. And in the sentence aheri, E is the object personal pronoun, second person, singular. So if you say aheri, where a, as we know, is the first person personal pronoun, singular too, then it means here I love you. So aheri means I love you. Another example, ahero, and that is just the plural form of the previous one. So that we have u as the second person personal pronoun, plural form actually, and the objective case. And this means in this sentence, therefore, I love you or you all as a group. Another example, be ase gocho neu. Be ase gocho neu. Here again, we have the word be, which I told you can be easily omitted. And then we have after that, ase gocho neu, which can always be shortened to ase gochonu. The two words neu, where we have u as the object second person personal pronoun, and ne meaning two, joined together to form one word, which is then used as a suffix to the word gocho, and therefore giving us one word, which is gochonu. And this means telephoned you? So the speaker here is asking, have I telephoned you? Be ase gochonu. Have I telephoned you? So by now, I think you have realized that most of these personal pronouns, actually all of them, come either before or at the end of the word they join together with to form a complete thought. I want to make something clear. The second person pronoun E in the subjective case should not be confused with the E used in certain Dholuo sentences to create the passive voice. For instance, when you say ilwonga, ilwonga. So E in that case is not, totally not the second person personal pronoun, but it is used to create the passive voice from the verb luongo, which means call. So that if you want to say, I am called, then you say, iluonga ni. Ni means that. It follows over there. So you have E in that sentence used as a prefix to introduce the passive voice that then will make it easy for us to bring our name in the introduction. So you have Ilwonga ni Lamitan. Another example, Kuon itedo gimok oduma. Kuon, ugali, itedo is cooked, tedo is cooking. So ugali is cooked with gi mok oduma, maize flour. So kuon itedo gi mok oduma. Itedo in that case introduces the passive voice from the word tedo. Another example, ji idwaro ilaru. People, ji, idwaro, which introduces the passive voice from the word dwaro, which means needed or need in the infinitive form, and now stretched and conjugated to bring the passive voice, idwaro, are needed. Remember, E in that case is totally not the second person personal pronoun. It is just used to introduce the passive voice. So, ji idwaro elaru. People are needed, idwaro elaru, at the square. I hope you get that clearly too now. Going on to third person personal pronoun, we have in the singular form o or n, o n, and in the plural form that comes to gi or gin, and these are for the subject form. What about the object form? We have e, gi, and you can hear that is quite open. E, gi. Examples: en nyamera. En is the subject, third person personal pronoun. Nyamera means my sister. So saying en nyamera, she is my sister. And I told you that the pronouns have a sense of the verb to be within them, so that you don't have to add that format in between. You have, if you say en, that can be translated as she, and at the same time can be translated as she is. So you have en nyamera, she is my sister. Another example is gin jomiel. Gin, that is the plural. third person personal pronoun. So you say gin means they. Jomiel, dancers. Gin jomiel, they are dancers. Gin jomiel, they are dancers. Another example, gichiemo, gichiemo. Gi, third person, personal pronoun in the plural. Chiemo, eating. Gichiemo, they are eating. Another one, now in the object case or having the object taken into consideration, is anenogi. Anenogi. And gi there refers to them. A, first person, personal pronoun, remember, meaning I. Neno, sing or to see. Gi, third person, personal pronoun in the object case. So saying anenogi means I have seen them. On the other hand, if said with a different intonation altogether, then it will be spoken like this: anenogi, anenogi, and that means I am seeing them, in the continuous present tense. Anenogi, anenogi, anenogi. You see that? The difference in intonation can create a variety of meanings from just a single sentence, and that must be taken into consideration if you are a Dholuo learner. Another example, gidware. Gi is the third person personal pronoun in the subject case, and e is the third person personal pronoun in the object case. And dwaro is a verb meaning seek. So they are seeking him. Gidware. I want you to get how to pronounce that easily. Gidware. They are looking for him or they are seeking him. Gi, they. Dwar, seeking. E, him. They are seeking him. Another example, obiro yudogi. And that, when spoken quickly by native speakers, will sound something like obro yudogi. There is that shortening of syllables in quick speech by native speakers, and that you will come to learn over time. I think that's available in other languages. Actually, in English too, I have encountered that many times. So, obro yudogi means he or she or it will find them. Yudo is find in Dholuo. So, yudogi, find them. Biro, going to. Obiro yudogi, is going to find them. So, in a nutshell, these are the personal pronouns that we have in Dholuo. And the first is a stroke an, which means I, a, me, wa, stroke one, we, wa, us. E, stroke in, you, e, you. So e stroke in, you in the subject case, singular. And e means you also in the object case, singular. U stroke un, you, subject case, plural. U, object case, plural. O, N, she, he, it. That is the third person, personal pronoun, singular. Gi, stroke gin. Third person, personal pronoun, meaning they. That is in the plural. And finally, gi, them. That is the third person, personal pronoun, object case in plural. So I hope you get that clearly. Thanks for being part of this lesson. Check out for my next videos here or here. Ciao. Oriti. Wanere.